You are listening to It Came from the Radio, and I just watched a very interesting movie. I actually watched the last 30 minutes in the shower while scrubbing my face and in the sauna, and I was quite entertained. And well, let's just give you a little synopsis. This is not from me. This is from the people who made the movie. So here we go. The award-winning, wickedly good revenge thriller, Santa Zeta, a ManodeSanto production from acclaimed Spanish filmmaker Antonio Munoz de Mesa, a prolific director in film and TV, in the Breakout Section. Now, influencer by day, this is the movie plot, Vigilante by night, Zoe Nekane Otxoa is a world-class travel influencer amassing millions of followers by exploring the globe through her vibrant channel, Santa Zeta. But when the vlogging ends, her true mission begins. She uses her public persona as a perfect cover to track and eliminate child predators. Fueled by the unsolved murder of her little sister, Zoe embarks on a relentless hunt across three continents, from the underground neon of Korea to the gritty sprawl of Los Angeles. As she closes in on a global network, the digital trail leads her back to her own hometown in Spain, where she must confront a nightmare far closer to home than she ever imagined. So, hello, I really enjoyed this. Welcome.
Thank you. Thanks for having me here.
So lots of questions. Okay, so as you know, you probably have not been sleeping under a rock. You've probably seen that the Epstein files and all this PDF file child trafficking stuff is all over the news, especially this week and the last few days. It's everywhere. And this film is about, PDF files, or maybe it is. Maybe it's about insanity. So is this a total coincidence or?
Yeah, it's a total coincidence, but because it's a pandemic, it's happening all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So I talked to a psychiatrist that said this is so many cases around the world in all the countries that could be like identified like a pandemic because it has like the same things. Many cases in all the countries, and it's not a virus per se, but it's something that happens all the time.
Okay, interesting. So now, related question, is this at all inspired anything or any parts of it, even the influencer parts, inspired by true events or parts of your own life that you experienced directly? Any
Yeah,
conversations?
I had a child abuse in my family with a
Oh,
close
okay.
relative. So I lived it like if reality breaks because we loved him so much. He was so charismatic, and he was someone that we loved. Everyone loved. So for me, it's like the world like breaks, and I wanted to relate to that fragmentation because in the movie she's fragmented. She doesn't remember
Mm-hmm.
part of the trauma, and I
Mm-hmm.
was like always working with that word fragmentation because when it connects, it's painful, but at the same time, it's a relief.
Mm-hmm.
And
Interesting.
the YouTube thing is that like I lived in San Diego for 3 years with my family with a visa for artists, and we opened a channel about a Spanish family living there. So I made like 3,000 videos, and it was a very famous channel from 2014 to 2017. So I fell in love with that language, with the YouTube language.
Interesting. Yeah, I really enjoyed the film, and there's some nice architecture in there. There's a lot of nice visuals, and I love the lighting of amber lighting and the green and the red and blue. A lot of people use, but it's always nice to look at. So, okay, so now I'm going to move on to the star of this, who's called the God of War by one of the characters. So she's kind of a hero, I guess, an anti-hero. She's flawed. She does bad things. She does good things. What characters did you have in mind for references, or what already existing gods of war were inspirations for this character?
Yeah, I didn't have any inspiration. I was because I'm in love with anime and manga. I
Hmm.
love these kind of characters that has like many angles, and that for me, I wanted to balance revenge vigilante superhero like cartoonish thing with the ordinary daughter that lives in the north of Spain and with the vulnerable uh, child that has been abused. So I
Hmm.
want to have a dialogue between those three layers. And anime and manga does it very well because it's not linear. You stop the narration and you go back, and then you have the story of the villain, like we have the black and white sequences with the little girl, and
Mm-hmm.
then you met the villain before the so you had an idea of the villain, but then you
Mm.
have another idea because you heard the story. So for me, it was like, I don't know, I had Attack on Titan, Demon Slayer, even Frieren, different mangas and animes in my head.
Mm-hmm. And before I think any character did anything a little evil, or maybe afterwards there was a kiss on the cheek that occurred. So in my life, one thing I kind of live by is anyone who's overly throwing out, I love you, oh my God, I love you, you're so great, I love you. Those are the people to watch out for. And also in my life, the people said, trust, you can trust me, are the main people not to trust me and the only people that owe me money. So I always kind of watch out when people are like a little too sweet. So is there a reason why you had like sweet kisses on the cheeks associated with the characters right before or after they did something a little villainous or destructive?
Yeah, because I think affection and love is the main reason why the predators justify themselves. And the victims
Mm,
and survivors feel that affection. So they feel
hmm.
it. They feel loved. That's why it's so contradiction. It's like
Mm,
I'm a kid and I feel loved, but at the same time, this shouldn't be happening. So for me, it's like a
hmm.
kind of perverse affection.
Right, interesting. Now, I'm going to say, in my life, and this is, I don't know if you ever saw Caddyshack, but the people in Caddyshack, they're all uptight and they're well dressed and they don't do really bad things. But, I just have a thing for uptight people. And I find that the people who are often like Bill Cosby, the Bill Cosby effect, they're well dressed, they say the right things, they're polite, they don't curse, but yet they're the one who are either contributing nothing or doing something dangerous. Whereas maybe someone like my dad who will wear, hiking boots to dinner, he's actually really, helping out, but he might say the wrong thing and, he might wear sweatpants or whatever. So in this film, the whole time, a little spoiler alert, you think that the main character, the God of War, is kind of the good guy getting revenge or justice against all these really bad guys because the bad guys are made to look really, really bad, at least from the point of view of the viewer. So but then at the end, we kind of find out her parents are maybe the bad guys and they seem all buttoned up and they say the right thing and they do the right thing and they're respected by the community, but she's stealing outwardly. So that's my long way of asking, who's the good guy? Who's the bad guy in this film?
Yeah, I didn't because I wanted to play to disguise this drama with
Mm,
genre, revenge genre, like speed on the I will speed on your grave, and this mini Kill Bill parody. Like I have a list and I have to kill people.
mm-hmm,
It's like just a cliche to make the audience comfortable with the language. But for me,
mm-hmm,
it wasn't about bad guys, or it was a bad way to look at love. It's like, how do you look at love in a bad way? So that's why I have the little black and white stories because they have all their justifications. Jo Kim in South Korea has their own justification. Thaddeus Ginger
mm-hmm.
that has this illness, and the nameless
Yeah.
monster too. So for me, it's you're not good or bad. You're looking at love in a very dangerous way
Hmm.
because I lived it myself, and I see that they think they love the people that they abuse.
Right. I think most people, I'm trying to, I am thinking of one abuser because I do have a bit of a justice story and I do want to make a documentary about this person. And this person has broken at least three people's bones and driven a vehicle into at least two groups of people and is a really bad person. But I don't know. I don't think there's love behind it. I think it's straight up sadism. So that exists too, I guess. Sometimes there's love and it's a mix. And then sometimes we just have people that really enjoy destroying other people, and I don't know if there's love there.
Yeah, that's
I don't
crazy for
know.
me. Yeah, it's like because for me it has to be some kind of something that uh s- uh holds that thing that you want to destroy some other. For me, this is
Yeah.
very interesting because in the north of Spain, it's a very closed community, the Basque Country. So if you marry something, a black woman, or from Venezuela in this case, or you're letting into the community some alien stuff. So if you have a daughter that is a mix, you're
Hmm.
like a colonist. You can colonize your own daughter because it's from another. So you wouldn't do it with a real Spanish, North of Spain Basque girl. So we talked a lot about this thing that you have the right to be like a Christopher Columbus over your daughter. I know it sounds crazy, but it's a logic that sometimes happens when you're like the you are in your land and you have invited something in your land. It's all the time that you're a slave.
Interesting, very interesting. And my mom lived in Madrid for a little while, so I always enjoy the Spanish language, and it was very interesting to listen to. And honestly, I'd rather listen to that than English anytime. So, what else inspired you to make this film? Like, making a film, well, first of all, the first question is, how long did it take? And then why go through all the suffering and the sacrifice? Because there's always some bit of suffering and sacrifice, or at least losing sleep, throughout the
Yeah.
movie. There's always some type of sacrifice.
Yeah, for me, it was like the adventure of discovering the movie while filming because we didn't
Mm,
have much pre-production, and the main character didn't travel outside of Spain. I told
mm-hmm,
her, "You're gonna discover these places, Seoul in South Korea, Los Angeles, United States, everything, for the first time as a person, and I would like you to play that as a character."
mm-hmm.
So, and we only were 7 people filming, so it was like a family, a run and gun style. Discovering the movie because I didn't write the script before. I was writing the scenes. I told them what was going to happen, but not how. And I was writing like 2 days in advance. So
Oh,
we were
wow.
discovering the film. It was
Oh my
really
God.
fun. Yeah.
2 days in advance. I mean, what if you got sick those 2 days or food poisoning, which might have happened in the movie at some point? I mean, because then you lose those 2 days and you're gonna have to cancel the shoot. That would give me some major anxiety. Major
Yeah.
anxiety.
I
I
didn't
mean,
think about
yesterday
that.
my whole day was shot. I was supposed to do all this stuff. I was shot. I did interviews. I was too tired. So yeah.
Oh,
Wow. Wow.
well,
That's a pretty ambitious.
we were lucky. We were lucky. I didn't think about that. I thought it was going to be okay. We were 4 days shooting in Seoul, 5 days in Los Angeles, and 10 days in the Basque Country in the north of Spain. It was 18 days
Hmm.
shooting in
Hmm.
three different in September, October, and January.
Okay. Well, this might be too personal of a question, so feel free to answer this however. But I work with all different types of filmmakers. We're shooting 2 features and 2 shorts in this house, right? In the next 2 months. And a common topic is investment and money and who provides the money, how you get the money, how you get the location. So if you could give us any insights in how you got these awesome locations and the great actress, or what type of funding you needed, any details on that.
Yeah, we were lucky because we had some investors that are friends of
Hmm.
my partner that
Hmm.
wanted to support the production company and gave us $300,000. So
Wow.
I wrote a script that when I finished writing it, they loved it, but it was like 2 million, so we couldn't shoot it. So I
Wow.
said, I have a story in the back of my mind of a traveler YouTuber that it could add production value, like 3 different
Hmm.
continents, and and I know these places because I've been to Seoul and I know the places, and I lived in San Diego, so I think we can do this pretty quick. And I have a great actress. So they said yes, and we did it with just 3 cameras at the same time because the vlogging
Hmm.
camera and two cameras that they have a Steadicam, the autofocus, and everything in the same place as the running 4D. The same cameras that they did Civil War or Adolescence,
Hmm.
the Netflix TV show. They are great cameras for this kind of shooting.
Looks beautiful. I really like the visuals. I'm very sensitive. There's certain visuals, if it looks ugly, I just don't want to watch it. It was so pretty. I was like, oh, this kind of transports you. I mean, it's nothing like White Lotus, but White Lotus is so beautiful, and there's
Right.
parts of this that are so beautiful. I'm like, oh wow, I just want to watch it again. So pretty. All right, so totally different. Switching gears. The main actress, she has to get pretty violent, and she has to have some anger in her, I would say, and some aggression. So how did the director get this out of her? Did she just have it naturally? Were there any guidelines or methods to get her to that place?
Well, because I knew her so well, I taught her for 3 years in school in
Oh, wow.
Madrid.
Wow.
I knew that she could do these 3 layers, and I don't, because I'm an actor myself. I have theater company and I've been touring with, and I'm a
Hmm.
playwright. I know that we have just to work on the here and now, the presence, and Nekane is very, very focused. Also, she's in the spectrum of autism.
Mm.
Um, uh, she's really functional, but she has to
Hmm.
be careful with the stimuli, the sounds, everything.
Mm.
So at the same time, that gives her like a very focused here and now thing that when I was watching her, even the way she thinks is like, wow, it's very
Interesting.
powerful. It's very powerful. And she was
Hmm.
very she thanked us because we were taking care of this. She had to be with some headphones for the sounds and whatever.
Hmm.
And she felt very good because we were with her all the time, not saying, "Oh, this is an inconvenience." No,
Right.
it's something that gives power to your character, and we were working the
Oh.
here and now. That's it.
Oh. Oh wow, that's very cool. And it's nice to see, how you take care of each other. I worked on a film and I cast the lead actress, and I don't think we put her through hell, but like we shot some scenes where she was scantily clad and she was in the cold, and this girl could just do anything, and a lot of actors would just crumble. So it's nice to see when people look out. As the makeup artist and exec producer, I was basically her slave running around and just hoping make Sabrina comfortable. That was my whole job. Please, it's always what I try to do if you're working with anyone. All right, so we're at the very end of the interview. So, anything that you just want us to know about the film? Anything on your mind?
Well, something very magical happened because we were shooting in this space where the Basque people, men, gather to
Hmm.
cook, and women cannot go into just once a year and whatever. And the
Oh,
main actress
wow.
said I dreamt as my character last night,
Hmm.
and I dreamt I had a scene with my father and and that scene in that scene I was questioning because I don't know in the script something that I question my father. So
Hmm.
I said, "What? You dreamt that as a character?" So I wrote it.
Right, right,
I wrote it there, and I
right.
and I asked the actor, "Can you go to back to Madrid in the next train so we can shoot the dream that the actress had?" So it was a
Hmm.
beautiful scene. It's a scene when he is in a very green situation, smoking and with a
Hmm.
laptop, and she's asking, "Something happened to me. Can you tell me what happened?" And he keeps
Hmm.
saying, "Just take your pill, take your pill." So that
Right.
comes from a dream. So I like it. I like when we
It
you can
worked.
do that.
Yeah, it was great. So, okay, I said we're at the end, but one final question. Do you think that you get real life messages through dreams? And then also give us your socials and where to find you in the film.
What can you say the question again? So,
Do you think you get like premonitions or messages or from God or spirit or the future or dimensions or just truth through dreams? Do you think that actually happens to people or
yeah,
to
I
you?
think, yeah, for me, since I was a kid, I know that this is real. So
Hmm.
if you disagree, I say, okay, I know because I feel it.
Right, right.
For me,
Yeah.
what is happening is everything is happening at the same time, the future, the
Mm.
present, and the past.
Hmm.
And because it's
Hmm.
happening at the same time, if you are alert, you
Hmm.
can just go and take a little from the future, a little from the past, and you can make your own decisions. Yeah, you discover or sculpt the reality because it's happening, and I know it's true. So,
Hmm. Hmm.
so for me, filming is like I know that this movie is gonna it's gonna be okay because
Hmm.
it's already shot, and I know
Wow.
it went well. So I
Yeah.
feel that way.
Yeah, no, it was so awesome. I'm so glad that I made the time for this. And where can people find you? Websites, socials, any premieres, screenings?
Yeah, in santafeta.com, we have a
Oh,
link tree with all the socials, and we're going to
hmm.
be also in the San Diego Latino Film Festival now in March. So from
Oh,
Slanders, we go to San Diego.
well, that's the end of the interview. And thank you for listening to It Came from the Radio. And now we're going to go back to the studio for more with Mark Torres.